We're living in an era that's obsessed with formulas. Do these 5 things and you'll go viral. Say these 3 words in your hook. Upload it this hour and you'll hack the algorithm. It's a culture addicted to shortcuts, to templates, to other people's answers. But the truth is this: the deeper that we go down that rabbit hole, the quieter our voice becomes. The more that we chase the formula, the more disconnected we become from the thing that made us want to create in the first place. And if we're not careful, we'll wake up one day realizing that we've built an audience, but we've lost ourselves. This isn't a manifesto against learning. Wisdom from others is truly a gift, but there's a difference, a really big difference between learning from the masters and worshiping their methods. There's a difference between being inspired by a voice and being silenced by one. That's what this is about. This is the anti-formula formula. Not a rejection of wisdom, but a reclamation of your voice, your instinct, your creative compass. So let's start by talking about the noise that drowns the signal. Everywhere you look, someone's trying to sell you a map. This is how I grew my channel. This is the secret to storytelling. This is the exact hook that you need. And maybe they're right for them. But here's the problem. Their map, it was drawn for their terrain, not yours. Their journey was carved through their fears, their obsessions, their creative fingerprint, not yours. When you follow someone else's map too closely, you risk something. You risk never exploring the wild landscapes that were meant for you. You end up walking a well-trodden path when you were born to blaze a new trail. And the most dangerous part, I think, the more that we consume, the more our ideas sound like echoes of someone else's. The more their voice fills our head, the less space there is for our own. Now let's talk about step 1, curate your influences. So the first step, I think, isn't to silence the world. It's to curate it. Learn from others, yes. Study technique, absorb wisdom, but don't swallow everything whole. Ask yourself this: does this voice sharpen my creativity or silence it? Does this perspective expand my thinking or does it shrink it to fit their mold? Great teachers, they don't hand you blueprints, they hand you tools. They don't demand obedience, they awaken discernment. So, learn deeply, yes, but listen wisely. Curate the voices that make your creative instincts sharper, not duller. Now let's talk about step 2. Sit with your ideas long enough to hear your own voice. Here's the part that I think most of us skip. We get inspired, we open a blank page, and before we've even breathed on the idea, we're scrolling for someone else's take. But creativity, it doesn't bloom under constant noise. It blooms in the quiet. It takes root in solitude. So sit with your idea, linger, wrestle, argue, play. Let it mature like an old photograph developing in a dark room, grain by grain, tone by tone, until you start to hear you in it. Because here's the paradox. Your most original work, it won't come from chasing originality. It'll come from patience, from listening long enough to recognize the voice that's been there all along. Now let's talk about step 3. Make something you'll still want to watch in 10 years. When the dust of trends has settled, when the algorithm has changed 100 times over, when the hacks have long been forgotten, what's going to remain? The answer? The answer is always the same. The work that mattered. The work that came from a deeper place. The work that wasn't chasing clicks, but chasing truth. If you want to build something that lasts, make something that you would still love a decade from now. Not what you think the audience wants, not what the market demands, but what your soul wants to say. Because legacy isn't built from hacks, it's built from honesty. So here's my challenge to you. Before you hit play on another tutorial, pause. Before you scroll for another hook formula, breathe. Before you copy another creator's path, ask yourself if you're ignoring the one that's been calling you all along. Curate your influences, sit with your ideas, and build something that you'd still be proud of when the lights go out and the metrics stop moving. Because the world doesn't need another copy of someone else's voice. It needs the one only you can give. Now go, honor truth, face what is, speak what's real, and create from the deepest place you know. Somewhere, just beyond the edges of what you've already made, there's a story. There's a story still waiting for you. A canvas that only your hands can touch, a sentence that only your voice can speak, a film, a photo, a fragment of beauty that only you can bring into existence. And it's calling, not loudly, not urgently, but like a heartbeat, steady, patient, alive. It whispers, "Come find me." And maybe you'll doubt you're ready. Maybe you'll tell yourself the world doesn't need another creator. But it does. It needs you. Not the polished version. Not the perfect one either. The one still learning. The one still trying. Still daring to make something that matters. So go, not to chase relevance or reach or recognition, but to meet the work that's still waiting. Go create the piece that will teach you something you didn't know. Go build the thing that will stretch who you are. Go shape the world in a way it's never been shaped before, even if it's only by a fraction of an inch. Because that's what this whole journey was always about. Not mastering creativity, but being mastered by it. And it's still calling your name.